Hello everyone, I am your Venugopal. Welcome back to our channel Physics with Venugopal Kusma. So in previous videos we discussed about the units and dimensions. In first video we discussed about the units, and in second video we discussed about the significant figures, and in third video we discussed about the error analysis, and in fourth video we discussed about the dimensional analysis. So if you want any video, I given these links in the description box. So please click on that link. You will get the that corresponding video. Okay. So in today's class, we will do some numericals on the errors and the dimensional analysis, which are very important to competitive exams and in exams also. So here the first problem is the refractive index of water is found to have values 1.29, 1.32, 1.35, 1.36, 1.33, 1.3 and 1.34. So now calculate mean value and absolute error, mean absolute error, fractional error and percentage error. Okay. So now the first one is mean value. So what is the mean value? How to find out the mean value? That mean value is the sum of the all these measured values by the number of these measured values. Okay. So these mean value x is equals to the sum of all these measured values. The sum of all these measured values means 1.29 plus 1.32 plus 1.35 plus 1.36 plus 1.33 plus 1.3 plus 1.34 divided by the number of measured values. So the number of measured values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So here divide by 7. So now add these 7 numbers, all these 7 measured values. So here I am adding these 7 measured values 1.29, 1.32, 1.35, 1.36, 1.33, 1.30, 1.34. So 4, 3, 13, 13, 5, 22, 24, 33. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 3, 21, 23, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 3, 9. So the sum of all these measured values is 9.33. So x value is 9.33 by 7. So by calculating, by dividing this 9.33 by with 7, we will get that is the 7 1 7 7 3 2 21 21 23. So 7 1 7 7 3 21 23. So 1.33. So the x value is, the mean value is 1.33 here. Okay. So this x value is the mean value. Now by using this x value, by using this mean value, we will find out this absolute error. Okay. So what is the absolute error? We will find here. So the second one is absolute error. So absolute errors are, so we can calculate delta x1 is equals to the mean value minus first measured value. Okay, first absolute error value is mean value minus first measured value. So what is the mean value? 1.33. 1.33 and first measured value is 1.29. Okay, so here what is this value? 1.29 means 0.04. So this is the first absolute error value. So here I am writing this 1.33 beside of this one. This mean value is the useful for further calculation part. That's why I am writing here. So the next second value is delta x2 is equals to x minus x2. So 1.33 minus 1.32. So this value is 0.01 and delta x3 is equals to x minus x3 equal to 1.33 minus 1.35. So this value is minus 0.02. Okay, and the next one is delta x4 is equals to x minus x4, that is 1.33 minus 1.36, so minus 0.03. Okay, so this is the fourth value, and the next one is delta x5 value is equals to x minus x5, so 1.33 minus 1.36, next 1.33, so this value will become 0, and the next delta x6 value is x minus x6, so 1.33 minus 1.3, so this value is 0.03 value, and delta x7 is equals to x minus x7, so 1.33 minus the seventh value is 1.34. Okay, so this value is minus 0.01. Okay, so all these values are the absolute errors. Okay, so these absolute errors, these are the absolute errors. Okay, so now the next one is mean absolute error. So this mean absolute error means the sum of all these absolute error values by the number of these absolute error values. Okay, so we will do that. So I will write here these beside these values. I will write beside of this one. So that is the 0.04, 0.01, minus 0.02. Okay, and minus 0.03, 0.03, minus 0.01. Okay, so these are the values. These are the seven absolute error values. So here the next one is mean absolute error. Mean absolute error means delta x is equals to mod delta x1 plus mod delta x2 plus up to mod delta xn by n. So here is also I am writing this. We have seven absolute error values. So that absolute error values are delta x is equals to. So by taking the mod, every negative value will be also becomes a positive. So this 0.04 and the next value is the 0.01 and next value is the 0.02 and next is 0.03 and the next is 0, next 0.03, next 0.01 by 7. Okay, so now calculate this one. 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 7, 9, 10, 14. So delta x is equals to 0.14 by 7. So this we can write 0.02. Okay, so this is the delta x value. This is the mean absolute error. Okay, so by using this mean absolute error value and the mean value, we will find out this fractional error. Okay, so the fractional error means so here the next one is fractional error. This fractional error is equals to delta x by x. Okay. So what is the delta x? Mean absolute error by mean value. So mean absolute error value is 0.02 by x value is 1.33. Okay. So now these points will be cancelled. So 133 to 0.000. So 133. So 67, 0, 5, 3 5 15, 3 5 15, 16, 665 5. So this value is 0.015. Okay, so this is the fractional error. Okay, so the next one is, what is the percentage error? This percentage error is equals to this fractional error into 100. So this fractional error is 0.015 into 100. So this value will be becomes 1.5 percentage. Okay. So this is the 1.5 percentage error. Okay. So the second problem is, in a series of successive measurements in an experiment, the readings of the period of oscillation of a simple pendulum were found to be 2.63 seconds, 2.42 seconds, 2.71 seconds, 2.56 seconds, and 2.8 seconds. Calculate mean value, absolute error, mean absolute error, fractional error, and percentage error. Okay. So this problem is also same as this of the first problem. So the first one is mean value. So in that, the first one, mean value is x is equals to 2.63, 2.42 plus 2.71 and 2.56 plus 2.8 by 5 number of measured values. So by adding all these numbers, that is 2.63, 2.42, 2.71, 2.56, 2.8, 6, 6, 12, 9, 5, 14, 21, 31, 13. So this value is 13.12 by 5. So this is the 5 to the 10 point, 5 6 to 30 and 5 to the 10. So this is the mean value is the x equal to 2.62 seconds. Okay. So this is the 2.62. I am mentioning beside of this one. And the next one is absolute error. So the next second one is absolute errors are delta x1 is equals to x minus x1, that is 2.62 minus First value is the 2.63, so minus 0.01, and the second delta x2 is equals to 2.62 minus 2.42, so that is the 0.20, and the third one delta x3 is equals to 2.62 minus 2.71 minus 0.09, and the fourth major value is delta x4 is equals to 2.62 minus 2.56, so that is the 0.06, and delta x5 is equals to 2.62 minus 2.8, so this value is the 0.18. So all these values are the absolute error values. So here I am mentioning this one is here 0.01 minus 0.20 minus 0.09, 0.06, 0.18. Okay. So the next one is the mean absolute error. So here what is the mean absolute error is so the mean absolute error means that is the sum of all these absolute error values by the number of absolute errors. Okay. So the third one is the sum of all these. Third one is mean absolute error. So mean absolute error is delta x is equals to sum of all these values. So that sum of all these values is 0.01 and 0.2 plus 0.09 plus 0.06 plus 0.18 by 5. Okay, so now by adding all these values 0.01, 0.20, 0.09, 0.06, 0.18, so 9, 60, 24, 5.54, so delta x is equals to 0.54 by 5, so that is the 108. Okay, so this is the mean absolute error value. Okay, so the next problem is the next one is fractional error. Okay, so here so the fourth one is fractional error. Fractional error is equals to mean absolute error value by mean value. So my mean absolute error value is 0.108 by mean value is 2.62. Okay. So that value will becomes that is the 0.108. So 108 by 2620. So here by calculating this one, this is the 0.108 and 2620.000 so 4 40 4 to 8 4 6 to 24 4 to the 8 10, so that is the 80, so 10 0 0 2 320. Okay, so 320 0 and 1 2620. Okay, so 0.041 is the value. So this is 0.041 0.41. This is the fractional error value. Okay. So by using this fractional error, we will find out the percentage error. So what is the percentage error? So percentage error is delta x by x into 100. So this value 0.041 into 100. So this value is 4.1 percentage. So these 4.1 percentage is the percentage error. Okay, so this much of percentage error is the present in that. Understood? So this is the second problem. So the third one is what is the third problem? Check the correctness of the equation. Check the correctness of the equation of mv square is equal to 2gh by using the dimensional method. So in this, we have to check out this of mv square equal to 2gh formula is valid or not. To check this, first we have to find out the dimensions on left side and the dimensions on right side. So if these dimensions are equal, then only this equation is valid. If the dimensions are not equal, this equation is not valid. So for that purpose, first we will check the dimensions. Okay. So this mv square, the formula is of mv square is equal to 2gh. So now the first on left side is mv square. So the m is the mass, so that is the kg, and v is the velocity, meter per second. So meter per second whole square. But kg dimension is m, and meter is the length dimension. So L by S is the time. So time dimension is T. So this is the whole square. So what we can write here, m L square T to the power of -2. So these are the dimensions of this mv square. And on the right side, 2gh. So 2gh is equals to, that is gh value 2 is the constant. So we will find out the dimensions of this gh. So here g is the acceleration due to gravity. So that is for meter per second square, and h is the height. So we will take that is the meter. Okay. So g is the meter per second square into height is the meter. So we can write this is meter square by second square. So meter square, meter is the meter dimensions of the L, and second dimensions of the T. So we can write L by T, L square by T square. So this one dimensions are L square T to the power of -2. Okay. So on left side, the dimensions are the ml square T to the power of -2, and on right side, we have the dimensions of L square T to the power of -2. These both dimensions are not equal. So this equation is not valid. Okay. So by using the dimensional method, by using the dimensions, we will check the correctness of the equation. So these both dimensions are not equal, left side and right side, the dimensions are not equal. So we can say that this equation is not valid. Okay. So this is the third one. And the next so the next problem is, if the force acting on your body moving in a circular path depends on mass of the body, velocity, and radius of the circular path. So now obtain the expression for the force. In this, take the k value is equals to 1. Okay. So now the solution for this problem is, so here the force acting on your body which is moving in the circular path. Okay, the T's depends on mass of the body, velocity, and the radius. So the F is the force F is depends on mass of the body, velocity, and radius of the circular path. Okay, so that means this force has the effect because of this mass, velocity, and radius. But how much effect they have, we don't know. To find out that effect, how much effect this force have because of these three quantities, we have to take the powers, but the powers values we have to find out. So we don't know the powers values here. Okay, so to find out the powers values, initially I will take some values. That means I am considering these powers are the initially A, B, and C. Okay, so these forces depends on these three physical quantities, and these three physical quantities, suppose I am considering the force is directly proportional to these three physical quantities. So F is directly proportional to m to the power of A, B to the power of B, and R to the power of C. In this we will have to find out the A, B, and C values. Okay, so now here if these can be written as F is equals to K m to the power of A, V to the power of B, R to the power of C. Okay. So what is the F dimensions? What are the force dimensions? The force dimension is the F is equals to ma, mass into acceleration. Mass is the kg and acceleration is the meter per second square. So we can write the dimensions are m l t to the power of minus 2. So these force dimensions are m, l, t to the power of minus 2 is equals to, here the k value is equals to, we were taken the 1. So k equals to 1 here, and here m is the mass. So mass, that means it has the dimension small capital M, m to the power of 1, l to the power of 0, and t to the power of 0 whole to the power of 8. And the next velocity has the velocity is the length by time. So that is the distance or displacement by time. So that is the length means units are meter per second. Meter per second means L by T. So L to the power 1 and T to the power of minus 1 are the dimensions of the this velocity. So here we can write m to the power 0, l to the power 1, t to the power of minus 1, whole to the power of b. And the next one is r is the radius. Radius is nothing but the length. Okay. So these length is dimensions of the l only. So we can take m to the power 0, l to the power 1, t to the power 0, whole to the power c. Okay. So now I am simplifying this one. So here m L t to the power of minus 2 is equals to m to the power a, okay, and here L to the power b, t to the power of minus b. So L to the power b, t to the power minus b, and here this is L to the power c, L to the power c. Okay. So now simplify this equation again. So to simplify this equation, I am erasing this question here. So here this is m to the power 1, l to the power 1, t to the power of minus 2. And this we can write m, l, t to the power of minus 2, and this one m to the power a, and here we have L to the power B and L to the power C. So we can write L to the power B plus C, and here we have T to the power of minus B. So T to the power minus B. Okay, now compare on both sides. What we will get here? M to the power 1, M to the power A. So A equal to 1, and L to the power 1, L to the power B plus C. So B plus C is equals to 1. Okay, and t to the power of minus 2, t to the power of minus b. So b equal to 2 minus b equal to minus 2, so we can write b equal to 2. Now substitute this b equal to 2 in this equation, so we can get 2 plus c is equals to 1, so c is equals to 1 minus 2 minus 1. Now substitute these values. I am taking so this is the equation 1. Substitute in that equation. Substitute in equation 1. Substitute a, b and c values in equation 1. So what we will get here, f is equals to, k value is the 1 and m, a value is the 1 and v, b value is the 2 and r, c value is the minus 1. So we can write m v square by r. So f is equals to m v square by r is the relation between the physical quantities. Okay. So this is the final equation. Okay. So this is the final equation. This is the answer for this numerical, for this problem. Okay. And the next one is so the next problem is, if the gravitational constant value in SI system is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Newton per meter square, then find out this value in CGS system. Okay. So if the gravitational constant value in SI system is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 12, sorry, 10 to the power of minus 11, G equal to Newton meter square per kg square. Okay. So convert these units, this value into CGS system. Okay. So now, what is the solution for this one is, the gravitational constant G is equals to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. This is an SI system. Okay. But here Newton is the unit for the force. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. Okay. So mass is the kg, acceleration is meter per second square. So here we can write G is equals to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 11. Newton can be written as what we can write here, F equal to ma mass kg meter per second square into meter square by kg square. Now convert this system, SI system to CGS system. So here this value is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 11 into kg. Kg is in CGS system is grams. So 10 to the power of 3 grams into, this is the grams into meter. So 1 meter, that means centimeters. We have to convert. So 1 meter equal to 10 to the power of 2 centimeters. So 10 to the power of 2 centimeter by same second square is will be not changed into here is also meter square. So 10 to the power 4 centimeter square by kg square. Kg square means 10 to the power of 6 grams square. Okay. So this is the converting that SI system to CGS system. So now here this value is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 11 into 10 cube into 10 to the power of 5, 10 to the power of 5 gram centimeter per second square. I am writing this is the one, and here 10 to the power of 4 by 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power minus 2 centimeter square per gram square. I am writing is this one is another one. Okay, but in CGS system, gram centimeter per second square is equals to 1 time. Okay, so here we can write this is I am writing here. So this g value is equals to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 11 into 10 to the power of 5. This value is dyne. Okay, so into dyne into this is the 10 to the power of minus 2 centimeter square per grams square. Okay, so this is the value. So 1 Newton is equals to 10 to the power of 5 dynes in CGS system. Okay, so in SI system 1 Newton, in CGS system 10 to the power of 5 dynes or 10 to the power of 5 gram centimeter per second square. So we can write here this value is G equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power of 5, 10 to the power of minus 2, 10 to the power of 3, 10 to the power of 3, 10 to the power of minus 11 into 10 to the power of minus 8 dyne centimeter square per grams square. So this is the value in CGS system. Okay, 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 8 dyne centimeter square per gram square. And this is also we can write what we can write here. This is or this value we can write G equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 8. Dyne is the gram centimeter per second square. Gram centimeter per second square into centimeter square per grams square. So this gram will be cancelled. So G equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeter cube per gram second square. Okay, so this is also we can write, or this is also we can write. Okay, so this is the converting this gravitational constant from SI system to CGS system. And the last problem we will see. So the last problem is convert 76 centimeter 76 centimeter of mercury pressure into Newton per meter square. 76 centimeter of mercury pressure into Newton per meter square. Okay. So now what is the solution for this? So here 1 centimeter of mercury pressure is equals to 1333.22 Newton per meter square. Okay, 1 centimeter of mercury pressure equal to 1333.22 Newton per meter square. So now we want 76 centimeter of mercury pressure. So this value is 76 into 1333.22 Newton per meter square. So by calculating this one, approximately we will get 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. So generally we will take 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. So this is the value of 76 centimeter of mercury pressure in Newton per meter square. Okay. So these are the some of the solutions, some of the numericals on the errors and on the dimensional analysis, which are very important to any competitive exams, IITs and NEET exams. Okay. So I hope all of you enjoyed my class, and in next class we will meet again. Until then, bye all of you and take care.